Welcome back, everybody, to the CoachNoah podcast, where we chat about health and fitness, mindset, and community. I'm Noah, and I'm joined today by someone I've shared many miles with, memories, and quite a few drops of sweat. Marco Prüfer, he's a dad. He's the founder of Kiez Kaffee Kraft, one of Berlin's most beloved independent cafes.
Thank you.
We ran to Hamburg from Berlin. We've run through the desert in America. We've done some crazy things together. But I think what we share together most is that we love the idea of bringing people together. So first of all, Marco, thanks for your time and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Noah. What a great introduction. I also love that you mentioned dad first.
Yeah.
So you are a dad, I'm a dad, and life and priorities change. So I like that.
Exactly. I think it's definitely worth mentioning. We can start there. You've got a little family of your own.
Yeah.
Kind of. I've mentioned to you before we started. This season of the podcast is about bringing friends on that I want to reconnect with, people who inspire me. And for you, for me, looking at you from the outside, you're a dad and you also have a very successful business. And obviously I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I see happy family, I see happy kids, and I see that you're also busy as hell. And maybe during this podcast we can dip into that so that I can learn how the hell that's possible.
Yeah. Thanks. I think for myself, I set three very clear and easy priorities. Yeah. It's family, it's business, and it's running or sport.
Yeah.
So these are my three pillars, and all my decisions are pretty much based on that. So
family first.
Family first. Well, of course, family first. Yeah. But business is very close.
It has to support
it
the
has.
family, right?
So and then this year, also my season this year is reconnecting with my love for the sport and really calling myself, let's say, an athlete. Yeah. Because with the kids growing up and now being more independent, I got my time back a little bit. And I always thought, I'm an athlete, not a professional one, just like a hobby athlete. Yeah. But the last maybe 1-2 years, I didn't lose it, but I want to train like an athlete. Yeah. I want to eat like an athlete. I want to sleep like an athlete. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
That's my
we
season.
Did do a swim training not too long ago, so
yes.
There might be something with swimming, running, and possibly biking involved.
And eventually, but that's like the, let's say, 2-3 year plan.
Okay.
Yeah. Not this year. you saw my swimming technique, so
hey,
I need some training.
You've got a good foundation. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. But I want to dig in a little bit to our past first. Maybe your past as well. Have you always been an athlete?
Well, I would have loved to actually go to a sports school. In German, in Berlin, there's one sports high school. But I didn't. Yeah. I don't know why. I just didn't go. I didn't apply. Yeah. I always did sports, soccer. I got to know track quite late. Yeah. Maybe when I was 17 or 18. Before that, I always played soccer. Maybe, I think your soccer was better than mine, but I always, now with my, not wisdom, but knowledge of the game of soccer, I think I just had bad coaches, man. I could have been good. Anyways, yes. Athlete, we're athletes. In my heart, I think in a different universe, I might have been a professional athlete in some sport.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So sports has been at your heart since the beginning.
Yeah, I think I was always very sporty. Was it soccer or CrossFit, then running, a little bit of basketball, and pretty much any sport I can do a little bit.
So running came last.
Running came after a soccer injury. I think it's, what is it called? Hernia?
A hernia.
Yeah. I had an issue here. I was supposed to get a
operation,
but then the doctor said, just take it easy with soccer for a few months. And then I discovered the Nike Run Club.
Yeah. That was when it happened for you.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much.
But that was also right around the time Café Kraft was being born.
Yeah, I started Kraft, my coffee shop, the first one in Prenzlauer Berg in 2014.
Yeah.
So I still played soccer back then and also did CrossFit besides.
And you grew up, let's just dig down deep, a little bit deeper. You grew up in Spandau.
Yes,
in
sir.
Spandau, Berlin.
Spandau.
Yeah.
Like every foreigner or non-Berliner always says, oh, it's giving me a hard time about it, right?
Yeah.
About being a Spandauer. But I know it's far off. You know, it takes 1.5 hours to get there. Yeah, but that's where I'm from.
Depending on the traffic, yeah.
Yep.
But Spandau is Berlin, but it's
Yes.
also its own thing, right?
It's like Köpenick a little bit, I would say.
But if you say Spandau is Berlin, do the Spandauers get upset about that?
Well,
Or do they
Spandau
want to
is
be
like a
Berlin?
little town, right? It has its little old town, and I even lived in Starken, which was all the way out at the very border of Berlin. No, I just kind of I was a Berliner and I wanted to be a Berliner, so it was kind of annoying me to just getting a hard time about it.
Yeah, okay. And so you got into running because of an injury, and then that was also, I guess,
I need to say maybe I reconnected with running because during my time in the States, high school, I did also join the track and field club or the sports program of track and field.
Yeah.
And I ran, I think, 400, 500, 800 meters and maybe 1.2K or something. But I never did track before. So I just did track to make it into the soccer team, to be fit.
Too.
So, and I did, and all the other German exchange students, they didn't because maybe they weren't as fit. And I was fast and I had a lung like a I don't know, dog.
Antelope.
Thank you. So I made it, and my technique wasn't the best, but I was able to run and to shoot. So and I was hungry and
ready
fighter.
to go. Yeah. So you did both in the high school time there.
Yeah.
You were in the US for a year?
Yes, sir. Virginia.
Yeah. For lovers. Virginia's for lovers, I think, right?
Yeah. Virginia Beach. That was my city.
Oh, man. And
there's a beach in the name, so I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah. You got to choose? Because I feel all of the German kids that I know, they were placed somewhere in Idaho, like in some random farmer town.
No, you couldn't choose. They pretty much try to find a family that suits you, and then you just get sent there. And they found a pretty cool family that I think would have suited me very well, but then they ditched out, and I got a family which didn't suit me at all, but still in the same city.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Virginia Beach is awesome. In my college times, we would always go to a spring soccer tournament against local universities. And be just getting out of Ohio, which is landlocked, into this beautiful beach town is nice.
It was a true American experience. Yeah. Like everything in between. It wasn't like a New York or Florida or LA, but it was something in the middle. It was nice.
Yeah. And you got to basically perfect your English, which is...
I tried.
Yeah. I mean, you speak almost with less of an accent than me.
Yeah, you're German.
It's taking over. It's taking over. And then you came over to Nike Run Club to be a pacer. And
no, first just I was a member. Was cool people and free sports, and sometimes you got a T-shirt.
Huge. It was huge.
It was huge and just nice people, and I always loved getting to know people, So it was a nice community. And then Lukas, Kellner, he was like, "Oh, do you want to be a pacer?" I'm like, "Hell yeah! Do I get free shoes?" So I joined. Became like, for everybody who doesn't know, a pacer. The pacers are not we weren't a coach, but we were the guy or girl running in the front, making the speed or like giving the speed
for the intervals
for
or
the
runs.
Crew behind you. Yeah,
exactly. So the idea behind running training is that people can train in paces and speeds, and so you can find whichever pace you want with your pacer. If you run the half marathon or the Berlin Marathon, there's always people running with flags, and their time is set to a certain pace that they're supposed to run. And that was our job.
And we met there. Yes, that's how we met you.
Yeah,
I met you.
How we met each other, and it was. Do you remember which session we met at? Was it probably an interval session?
Yeah.
I can't remember those times. I just remember it was awesome.
Yeah, I really like thinking about it as well. Good times.
Yeah,
But I only did one session a week because I already had my cafe.
true.
But yeah, I think I mostly did the interval sessions on maybe, I don't know which day.
Yeah,
Tuesday, Thursday, I don't even know.
yeah. I think Track Tuesday, something like that.
Possibly.
Who knows? It was a really cool time. It was cool that Nike was supportive of the community at that time. It kind of was a shame that eventually it came to a close, but that also birthed quite cool projects, which we got to participate in together on.
Right.
And that was the Craft Runners.
True.
And we basically at the beginning, we decided we'd do once a week training to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
And we did one crazy event at the beginning, which was
Hamburg, Berlin.
Hamburg.
Yeah, Berlin, Hamburg. I'm sorry.
Berlin, Hamburg with 300.
I think inspired by the speed project, right?
We did it to enter, kind of to show that we're worthy.
I don't even think that we planned on like making this a showcase or making this an audition. It just happened.
Yeah.
You know, so we got a text message or I don't know what Instagram direct message after we ran from Berlin to Hamburg from the speed project that they saw it and if we don't want to join the next speed project, we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, dreams come true.
So for those of you who don't know what it is, we inspired by this adventure race, which you do as a team. It's making running, which is normally an individual sport, into a team sport, which is why it's so cool. And we decided to run to Hamburg, which is 300 some kilometers you're not allowed to run on the Autobahn, the freeway, but on the side roads, and do it in under 24 hours, which was our statement. I remember.
Did we want to do it under 20? I think we just tried to go as fast as possible.
We tried to go as fast as possible, but I remember in our calculations, we wanted to have a number to say to the public, and we said under 24 hours. Okay. And we did it in 21, I believe. Yeah. To the Landungsbrücken.
That's right. I was there like a few months ago at Landungsbrücken, and I remember that moment. I was like, I was here before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where we arrived.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a really cool experience, and then it brought us together as a team, which was the point. And then we did this crazy run, which I guess we can introduce now, the Speed Project. Yeah. And
there's even a documentary about it on Vimeo. Yeah. Sadly, not on YouTube.
Yeah. So why isn't it on YouTube?
Because of the music.
True. We used music.
David didn't use copyright-free music. That's why it's still on Vimeo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really done documentary.
The documentary is about the second run, not the first,
The first one, we just had content with Max.
Yeah. So we did the Speed Project twice.
We were sick enough to run through the desert 550 kilometers twice.
I think placing second.
Yeah.
The first time.
The first time we placed second. And the third time, I don't remember.
I think third or something. Yeah. Not too bad.
We weren't too far behind.
I think if we would compete now, because they got so much faster, right? With the pros teams.
Crazy.
And they all do, because there's no rules with the Speed Project. Only the starting time and the arrival destination, the Las Vegas sign. And you can run any route you want.
There is a suggested route, which isn't the most direct.
Yeah, so you can go through the desert if you want to.
Yeah, but you have to have the right kind of vehicles for that.
Yeah, but now even they do solo TSPs.
What?
Haven't you seen?
I've seen like the rumors. I didn't know. I think I saw one guy do it last year or the year before.
Oh, there's tons now. Like I even know 3 or 4 people personally that did it.
What?
For example, René, the Good Vibes guy. Yeah. He did it just this year.
By himself.
And shout out to René, most inspiring thing I've seen this month for sure, or this year. He did it by himself, no support, nothing. So he had a backpack and he had to carry like his food, his water. He had to plan like stops to go to, for example, a gas stop to eat or to get more water, then walk again. So no support, nothing, no car. He was sleeping in a tent. Yes.
And how long did it take him?
It took him, I don't know, 4 days or something, 4 or 5 days.
Insane. And they waited for him.
No, they start early. They don't start Friday or something. They start Monday.
Okay.
So they arrive depending how fast or slow you are.
Yeah, around the
roughly.
same time.
So he was at the pool party.
Nice.
The world.
There is a pool party that awaits the struggles
Yes.
afterwards. It's a really cool event, and there's some now in Europe popping up that are inspired, I think, by them, which I think is really cool. I that year, the year after, I took people to swim across from Germany to Denmark, because I was like, hey, if we can do it on land, why not in the water? Adventure is just, I guess, pushing people to their limits,
And also bond friendships
exactly
for life.
Yeah, you go through something hard. It's like a team, right? When you're playing on a team, soccer team, whatever kind of team,
You remember
win
those
together,
times.
you lose together. Those people,
And you're in the moment, like with work and family. And for me, like my mental state at work is mostly, let's say, future oriented, not past oriented, but also not present. So, and since
you're everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, I'm everywhere, and that's not very healthy for my mental state.
Yeah,
that's why I attended your breathing classes as well.
Yeah.
So, and with like those kind of running events, I was always very present, hence very happy.
Yeah, I guess. Have you ever done like a camping trip by yourself, like where you take a bike and go somewhere?
No, I'm not the most experienced nature guy, but I want to be. You know, I want to do stuff like this with my kids as well.
I told Kim, with or without kids, I need to do that once a year.
That's good.
Once a year by myself would be great, where I can just take my bike and a hammock and go. And the last time I did it was just before kids, and I went to Usedom.
Oh, nice!
It was a really nice bike. I think it was just.
Want to run to Usedom?
Yeah. Hey, maybe we do this together.
The bike pathway from Berlin Usedom.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I ran it 100 kilometers once.
True with
Niklas.
Yeah,
and it's getting, after you leave Berlin, it's getting really nice. Yeah. So
people get nicer too.
So I one goal maybe this year, I don't know. I'm gonna take maybe 2-3 days and just try to run to Usedom. I hope.
You hope.
Yeah.
Hey, cool goal.
Yeah.
Because we'll get into that, I guess, later in the podcast. I want to talk for a minute now, because we're in that zone, or we were in that zone about Kaffee Kraft and the birth of it. It's with friends, right?
Yeah, it was we used to be called Kaffee Kraft. And then during the pandemic, I got a call, not from a lawyer, but from a very nice guy, actually, the head of marketing from the Kaffee Kraft in Nuremberg.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a cafe, but they are very famous boulder hall. Yeah. And they had all the IP rights to the name. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for not suing me. And they didn't have a problem with us at all till we started to sell t-shirts online, because then they promoted Kaffee Kraft t-shirts online. We did, and the people were confused where to go, which shirts were original. So everything good. And then with my business coach, we developed this new identity of Kiez Kaffee Kraft. Yeah. Kiez is where we are, the neighborhoods. Yeah. Café is what we make, and Kraft, that is our family. That is us. So, and I started it with a university colleague. We weren't best buddies, but we were study buddies, I would say. But we studied business, and both wanted to start something, and not just talk about business, but actually do it. And for that, I quit my corporate job, because first he wanted to open a bar, but I said I don't want to do night jobs and stay and drink tequila all night. And then we found this location in Prenzlauer Berg, where the first craft is. And it was a cafe, and we thought, wow, this can be a cafe, but a good one. The area was pretty dead, so no people walking by, nothing. But it was
right at the edge.
It's right at the end of the Schiefelbeiner Straße, right before Wedding. Yeah. But I saw potential, and for that I quit my corporate job. I was still single and no kids. I didn't have any financial obligations, no debts, nothing. So I was ready to go back to my student life also, because I didn't know how much I'm going to be earning, and it was very, 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 very little for the first years. Yeah. I just saw my spreadsheet the other day. Yeah, I don't know how I survived, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you were single.
Yeah, it was all good. I was happy.
Yeah, and you had like a roommate in a one bedroom.
And we were running.
Yeah.
You know, that's when we started. So I was totally happy.
I can't believe that. Like for me, even though you were single, you had no kids, that I just don't understand how you had the time to do all of that and the cahoots.
Maybe that kept my mental sanity. You know, the running and meeting all you guys.
Yeah.
And girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Could be. And
was a good lever or
life work balance, I guess. I mean, you were hustling hard. You're building a dynasty, to say. You can call it that. I mean, you've got now 3 locations, one right around the corner from me. Welcome to our Kiez.
Thank you.
As a Kiez Cafe. Es kommt gut an. People are definitely enjoying it.
I came here and I came by scooter and I tried to. The whole street is a construction site. What's going on? I couldn't even turn right.
No, Moabit is a disaster right now.
The Prenzlau, Pankow, and Moabit are run by my brother and my first employee and very, very good friend Robbie.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to take all the credits for Pankow and Moabit. Yeah. They're running the show there, and they're the owners of those 2. So and who knows Robbie knows he's been with Kraft since day one, actually. Yeah. And in 2021, the 3 of us started Pankow, and they continued and built Pankow and Moabit.
Crazy.
So yeah, we call it the Kraft family.
Yeah, and so it's at 3 locations now. The brand is at 3 locations now.
It's at 5.
5.
But
with Nike.
Yes, we have 2 office cafes. So I call it office cafes. It's a cafe within a big company building, but in those 2 cases, only available for the employees.
Okay.
So my deal is with the company and not with the employees. The employees get coffee for free.
Nice.
But my team is there Monday till Friday at those 2 locations. One is at Alexanderplatz in a very big company, and one is in Friedrichshain. And for those kind of setups, I get requested more and more. Just this week once, last week once, but
how do you get into that part of the business?
Well, the other company, not Nike, they do this business. They build buildings, they build offices, they build houses, they run houses, they manage houses, and with that, because I make coffee at their office, so they all know us and our service.
But they know it's a good service. They know it's good people.
Yeah, but now the 2 options. They were presented just this week and last week. They're both, they wanted the employees to pay. It was more like a co-working space, and they were all supposed to pay. So I wouldn't have to deal with the owner of the building or the company. So that would be a new business model again, and that's why I'm hesitant to reluctant.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to go for that.
Yeah, we'll see. Only time will tell.
Focus.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting because for me, one of my biggest fears is taking the step to start a business. Especially, I mean, now that I have a family, it seems really scary to sign a contract for a certain amount of time where you are not sure if it's going to work or not. Were you ever at a point in the beginning where you weren't sure that it was going to work?
No, back then, you know, also the contract in Prenzlauer Berg is special. It's not a typical Gewerbe contract.
And a company contract, a business contract.
It's I know the landlord, and if it all goes down, I could probably get out. You know, so back then, and the risk financially wasn't that much. It's a small space. We didn't invest much. Now in Prenzlauer Berg, we just renovated the whole thing. Now we put in a ton of money. So now it's a different story, but I know we've been doing it at this location for 11 years. So I know it will pay off. But doing new things also, Moabit, of course I was involved, and we talked about it, and we checked out the area, the neighborhood. It's a big investment, Moabit.
Huge.
Yeah, we had an amazing carpenter and crazy lighting that costs a ton of money and a crazy coffee machine. So it's huge investments, but we think in the neighborhoods, you know, here in Moabit and also Pankow, Prenzlauer Berg, in the neighborhoods, we can create something lasting, you know, for 30 years maybe. I don't know. And secretly we call it the 30-year plan. Because in I don't know, Friedrichstraße or something, the life can be short as a
people
business.
Are in and out.
Kastanienallee, shops are closing down, opening up. But we're gonna stay.
Okay, so then that's why it's the neighborhood Kiez Kaffee.
Because we want to know the people. We want to, when someone comes in the door every day for 10 years, I see them more than my own family,
Sometimes, yeah.
So that's how crazy it is.
I had a conversation with one of the WeMoa participants. She's like, no, I've seen you 3 times this week. I haven't seen some of my friends this many times this week. I'm like, well, let's keep it going. Maybe we'll be best friends. It's interesting how it works, like in that type of business where you're selling not only a service, but a vibe and a product.
Belonging.
Yeah.
Not being alone, maybe.
Yeah.
Someone that knows you.
Yeah. Do you know Thailand Kurt, the green representative of Mitte?
Maybe, yeah.
Mitte Moabit and Wedding. I was talking to him about that. And he's like, people don't want to call it that, but you're selling a cure for loneliness.
Yeah, loneliness for sure.
Even though,
city loneliness.
Yeah, it's crazy to think.
Anonymity.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that exists here, right?
Yeah. And now I think even with the new work and home office, you can hide even more.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to get out of the apartment.
Yeah. So when someone sees you and recognizes you, like, hey, that's a nice feeling.
It is very nice. Yeah. True. Okay. And so I want to ask you if you have, like, for someone like myself who is thinking to put myself out there and is in a business with a storefront, what are I know I can ask ChatGPT or YouTube, but I think it's always better to talk to people, which is part of the reason I do this podcast. What are a couple of things that I should definitely know and think about, maybe that I might not expect, costs that I wouldn't expect, anything that might be unexpected in the idea of opening up a space?
So do you take Umsatzsteuer right now?
Yes.
Okay, because
but I hear
that so often that people are surprised by tax, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you're in business, right? Why are you surprised? You did not put it away. What did you do with the money, man? It's not your money.
Yeah.
You're taking the tax from your customers and giving it to the state. That's how it works, and you should be ready for that.
Umsatzsteuer is the equivalent of sales tax, I believe, in America.
Yeah, so when you sell a service in your industry, it's 19% of the sales price goes to the state, and they pay the teachers, hospitals, they pave the streets. Yeah. That's how it works. But also when you, for example, go and buy equipment for your studio, you don't have to pay the 90%. You get that back. So those two are...
They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out, and you pay the difference. Mm-hmm. And if you just do that every month, and you kind of have to manage your cash flow. So we manage your cash flow, know what kind of invoices are coming in, know what kind of money is coming in, and just know if you're gonna have enough money at the end of the month. So
of course, for me, this is
cash flow management.
Yeah, and what could I do? Like Buchhaltung, keeping the books. Is that the only way?
It's maybe the easiest and best way. Yeah. So we do our Buchhaltung, accounting in-house. I used to have an accountant also here close by, Havelberger Straße.
Nice.
And during the pandemic, I don't know what happened to him. Because during the pandemic, there was so much help and programs and initiatives that I think he was just getting buried with, papers to fill out for his customers. And I couldn't reach him, but I need to pay my team, but I didn't get the pay slips. And so I just paid them something, but I didn't know how much. It was a mess, a huge mess. Okay. So after that, I said, never again. In-house.
And how did you transition? Like that's, to me, I do it somewhat to myself. I don't have as many line items, but
I have so many line items. Like I have so many. If I check my bank, we have so many suppliers for coffee, for milk, for flowers, for groceries, so the bills just add up. I think if you have, let's say, a gym, you maybe order drinks for the fridge once a week, once a month. Yeah. Then you have your Strom, electricity, etc. So I don't know, maybe you have 50 lines per month.
Yeah.
I have like 300 or something.
Wow.
But getting into that is pretty simple. Now, even with ChatGPT, way easier. But I use LexOffice.
Okay.
I would suggest, like, if you don't have 300, 500 line items, or like things going on, like, for example, if you have an online shop and selling 100 products a day, maybe you need some help, and then doing it yourself is not that easy.
Yeah.
But for a gym owner with Zefdesk, LexOffice, it should be pretty simple.
LexOffice, yeah.
With if you have one friend that knows how this thing works, it's 1 hour of explanation, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
And then is
it a paid service?
It's a paid service, but pretty cheap. I think LexOffice the basic plan is maybe $17 a month.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny, because when I log in, I have a dashboard, and it tells me because it's connected to my bank, it tells me what invoices I owe to whom and what the sum is, and what money I am getting from my customers. And then also it takes the difference. So I know, okay, this month, let's say 5,000 go out, 8,000 come in. I have a 3,000 difference, plus the daily sales at the cafe, for example.
Okay.
So yeah, having a good overview about your finances, I think is super. It shouldn't be
most stressful for me, because I have no background in this.
Yeah, but it's not hard.
Okay.
I think I see your remote emotion and reaction.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need
visceral.
to.
I feel it. I'm like,
but it does. I think it's with so many people, they have the same feeling.
Yeah.
But nowadays it shouldn't be that hard.
Shouldn't, because it's
just ask one friend, take your time, take a 3-hour workshop, and you're good to go. Okay. And if you can't do it, ask your husband, your wife. I don't know. Of course, if you have the money, outsource. But then you're waiting for the BWA, for example, the betriebswirtschaftliche Analyse, or whatever it's called. So you get a piece of paper, and back then, like 10 years ago, I got a piece of paper, not even like right after the month, but like 3 months later, because he was so late always. Yeah. So I got a report on paper about my business from 3 months ago. And on my bank account, it showed some numbers. So I had no idea, man. And I still studied business. Yeah. But I was focusing so much on the business and not on controlling or accounting. Yeah. Yeah. But like, I guess knowing your numbers is good.
Number one.
Know when to pay the bills. Pay the bills. And then also, I don't know, analyze and control. Like, where's the main drivers of sales? What could you ditch? What's not a sales driver? Which, I don't know, marketing initiatives worked? Where do the leads come from? Do they stay?
And you do all of this by yourself? Well, not by yourself, but your team.
In our office, we are, so Robbie, Steffen, and I, we share an office. We have a co-working space, let's say. And yeah, we talk about that. But probably with the new business, like now with my 10-year history, it's I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's working. Yeah. Something like this, right? Yeah. But at the very beginning, I would be more cautious, maybe.
And how did you get the location? Like, you said you know the landlord. Because that could make or break business, right?
Sure.
I mean, I was looking at the space next to the Kiez Kaffee Kraft.
Expensive, right?
It's crazy, but it has to be possible, or else they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Ask for that.
Yeah, I think also probably are you planning to do it with your own money or with investors?
It would be great with investors, obviously. As of right now, I'm planning with my own or getting a loan from a bank.
One tip also is if you get a loan or if you get investors, you probably kickstart the whole thing by at least 5 years. So because we used to do everything by ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, the times are a bit different now.
We got a shitty coffee machine because we didn't have money. We got secondhand furniture because we didn't have money. And 1 year...
It's kind of Berlin though.
Yeah, it worked. It was all nice. It was a good testing ground. But now the concept proved to be good. So we said, okay, we do it once right. Yeah. Like get a whole, like a technician to do the electricity, the water, the plumbing, get a good coffee machine, a carpenter.
Yeah. Make it look sexy.
But also it's more efficient, it's cleaner, everything. Yeah. But for example, do you know if you look at because maybe you could compare your idea with the CrossFit box, right? And Friedrichshain, what's it called? From Basti, my friend Basti. And David is there all the time.
Good, no.
I don't know, but they set up like a real proper CrossFit box, right? It's super nice. Maybe even on the more expensive side, I don't know, but eventually they put in all their money or they got in like a loan, I don't know, but it looks like a proper business.
Yeah.
And
that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think you just kickstart, or you all the struggles you have with the do-it-yourself cheap stuff, you just jump right over it.
Because right now, I was talking to my partner about it. She was like, I'm at a crossroads right now myself.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in my professional space. This is where I record. This is where I work out. This is where I do clients in our apartment.
Mm-hmm.
No storefront. It lacks that professional edge of having a real space, whereas someone who wants personal training doesn't necessarily want to walk into your apartment to go training, right?
Yeah.
I think it's no problem, but that I'm not the normal client. And so...
and if you want to charge premium, I don't know, if you charge €100 an hour...
And they're coming into my apartment... Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what she's saying. And I agree, but it's also like, okay, I'd rather know that I'm going to be making X amount before I open up a space. And plus the space might not even have me. It's like going to the German Ausländerbehörde. They need one paper to get this paper, but this paper needs this paper to get it. But in this case, it's the money that I need or the clients that I need, but the clients aren't coming because of the space.
I totally get it. It's... with new, we probably have this. We have the same thoughts with new cafes or locations. Yeah. It's always a risk. I don't know. It's always, but you have a proven business model, I think, and a customer base.
That's true.
So if that, and also if I remember let's say, the income streams or my income, it started to peak, but then at this certain point, I needed help. I needed to, I don't know, let go of topics or give something to a colleague, and then they wanted more money, for example, if they were supposed to manage the cafe. So my income dropped because I gave something, how do you say? Outsourced something, yes. Then we grew again, but I ditched down again because of a decision to invest. So it's always this curve, and you climb up very slow.
Yeah.
And sometimes the investments were as big, so I fell down hugely again.
Yeah.
But
usually it's with an educated guess of the fact that all of that will be in return.
Yeah. So maybe your income level now is here. Yeah. You make an investment now, it will ditch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make this work for 2-3 years and you back up.
Yeah.
I think.
And
that's what my history tells me.
Did you ever have to take out loans and stuff?
For the new, so for Moabit we did, yes. Yeah. And for Prenzlauer Berg, because Prenzlauer Berg, if you are a regular customer or if you've seen the pictures, we pretty much redid the whole thing from the floor to the ceiling, everything. Every screw is new.
Cool.
But the shop was 10 years old and all do it yourself. I built the bar with my dad, the wooden bar.
Yeah.
And we just needed an upgrade. And I thought, all right, the business model has been proven 10 years, and with the investment now that I'm going to pay off, I don't know, 7 years, will last another 20 or something. I don't know.
That's very good outlook.
Yeah.
It's optimist outlook. I'm listening to a book right now, The Psychology of Money, and it's basically like you can't be this optimistic without having respect for risk, and you can't be so scared of risk that you're not willing to do anything. There's this somewhere middle ground on where success lies.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
there's always risk.
Yeah.
But I think with family now, we have a different perspective or view on risk.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Yeah, when you're all by yourself, you risk it all. Who cares?
I have 5,000 euros in the bank. Fuck that. Let's go.
5,000 on red. Yeah. Well, thanks for the tips. Let's transition a little bit back to the sporting, because I think I and maybe any listeners who are or people who are watching might be able to take with them that if they're looking to start a business, they should start with maybe proof of concept and then jump in and just start somewhere. That's
somewhere. If it's go to a market, sell on a market, I don't know, make something, just test it, for sure.
Yeah. And then
like just opening the door nowadays is stupid. You can test it online, you could do A/B testing, you could do Instagram reels, I don't know, you could do landing pages. There's so much stuff to test a business model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you've been a runner now for, let's say, your whole life, but in the running scene here in Berlin for over 10 years. And your next journey, what you mentioned, maybe not in the podcast, but just before, is that you're thinking about ultra.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we said the only way to develop or progress in running is either to get faster or go longer.
Yeah, I'm probably I think with my marathon, half marathon PBs are not super in our world, right? When we have Björns as friend who are like super fast, it's not super fast. No. I think I can still progress, but it's not my main goal right now. I want to and I really enjoyed my 2-3 ultras I did last year and the year before.
Which ones did you do?
So we did a do-it-yourself 100-kilometer run.
Yeah.
With Niklas and I in November, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not sure. We just pretty much ran 50 kilometers north, turned around, and ran back. And David Goggins was a huge inspiration. We thought we were going to break and cry, lie on the floor and say, go without me, leave me here. Yeah. But it never happened. We just had too much fun. Yeah. So there will still be a challenge to one-time break, just be as devastated and lay on the floor. Yeah. Then I did a 60K run in Brandenburg, but it was an official race. Was the beginning of the season last March, and I wasn't prepped at all. It was pretty tough, actually, tougher than my 100K run. And then we did a backyard ultra, do it yourself again with some friends and I at a lake. At a backyard ultra, you run 6.6K every hour on the hour. So you can take as much time as you want, but on the hour, you start again with another lap. Okay. And you do that as long as you can. There's no finish. And I did it.
Last person standing.
Yes. And you can guess in a second the world record, but I did 10 hours. Okay. So 66K. Yeah. And in the last hour, I fell. So I was alone, and I fell. I hurt my shoulder. It wasn't too bad, but I was just, fuck that, I'm alone. I'm not going to continue. My shoulder hurts. I want to jump in the lake.
10 hours later.
Yeah. But the world record from an American, I think, is 500, 600 kilometers. He did it for
3 days straight.
Yeah, something like that.
A little over 2 days straight. Yeah.
So in Germany, that concept is not yet that popular. But I read it, saw it, YouTube, wherever, and we just did it ourselves at a lake. And this year I tried to do, I hope I can do a 12-hour ultra, but where only the time is set, but not the distance. You just go as long as you can.
In a circle or?
In a circle.
Yeah.
I'll text you. It will be in Berlin.
Yeah.
And then I want to do the backyard ultra again at this lake. Try to go at least 12 hours, I think. I hope.
Wow.
And then maybe I'll try to find like a real race, I don't know, Austria and
Steffi's talking about one in Baden-Partenkirchen or whatever.
But that is kind of with my life and family and kind of harder to organize.
Yeah. Backyard is easy. The kids can play in the sand and you can run around the lake.
But the long term, I want to do maybe 100 miler.
Okay.
Maybe for now the Mauerwegslauf. It's not steep, but it's historic for me because I was born in East Germany. But here the tricky part will be, I think, of course, the distance, but also the heat because it's in the middle of the summer. Yeah. And then for sure something in the Alps, and then one day.
And what pushes you to do these things?
I think it's more the journey. You know, the training, becoming fit again, healthy, the best version of myself. It's not so much about the finish. It's not at all about the finishing time.
Yeah.
For me, it's more about the whole year that I put into this training to become able to stand at the start line to do this. To think I can do this. That's. I want to be, a fit dad.
Yeah. It's the dad bod or the dad with a bod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty honorable because at our age, I mean, mid-30s, it's time to start thinking about longevity, staying healthy, and movement is key to that. And we want to be there for our kids, for our partners, for our friends. And the only way to do that is to keep moving. And
Sure.
I think it's a bit crazy that ultras are becoming a thing, but something itches inside of me as well to get into that game. I don't know, maybe it's because of the crazy things that we did as a team to say, hey, well, I want to be like Master Good Vibe and try TSP by myself. Yeah. But 500 kilometers, that's insane.
But he went off route. He did his own route. Yeah. I don't know if Pascal also did it, a friend of Björn's, this triathlon guy. Yeah. But he had a tough time. I think he had, I don't know what issue he had, but he didn't finish.
Okay. Yeah. And that's part of it.
Yeah,
if you're
for sure.
doing these crazy things,
then you have to get over it.
Your health comes first, I guess. Yeah.
And I want to, run in nice scenery, just in the Alps, and the mountains and snow. I'm like, what? Yeah. Because we're from Berlin, right? We run from, I don't know, Moabit to
dodging dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Getting out into the country. I think that's one of the main things that I liked or loved about training for triathlon is because when you're on, you have to bike. Mm-hmm. I don't like biking, but what I loved about biking is you're moving fast and you get to see so much if you're doing really nice routes. You're out in the middle of nowhere.
Looking forward to that once I start bicycling for my Ironman training.
Yes, which is 2026, 27.
I don't know, before I turn 40.
Okay, yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah. Let's see. But when you talk to all those triathlon Ironman people, they're such nerds, right?
Such nerds.
We're all such nerds. I'm a nerd. I'm a running nerd. There's this CrossFit nerd. There's yoga nerds. There's breathing nerds. There's triathlon nerds. We're all nerds.
Nerds are good. Nerds.
So I might nerd out when I start with triathlon training.
Yeah, I think that there's I mean, I never wanted to be this guy, but when you go to a triathlon, you'll see it. You see really expensive bikes and then really shit bikes. It doesn't matter.
Finish, right?
They still finish, but the thing is you see the fast bikes, the expensive bikes come in first, and they also come in last because these people who their kids are in school, they're done, they've got time again. Yeah. I don't want to be that, but I probably will be that guy where I'll be
So I push it like the ultra or the Ironman goal to finish one. I push it back because I want to be around with my kids. Exactly. And Ironman training just demands time per week.
Have you seen Paul's Instagram where he's running with the... Have you done that yet?
I did, but now, Lily is almost 3 and she doesn't take a nap. She probably would if I pushed her. Max is turning 6. He goes to school, so...
Hey, school hours.
Train is gone.
We went on... The reason I ask is because we went on our first family run last week. Cool. And kids get in the cruiser. I'm pushing. Kim's next to me. And we have one route, 5 to 7 kilometers around the lake and back. Kids can get out at the lake. I usually jump in.
Nice. Sounds beautiful.
It's really nice. I hope it continues. And I guess when it comes to training, especially for marathon, when you do a marathon, you know how long you are away on those Sunday long runs when it's triathlon.
Yeah.
You got swimming and biking on top of it. So it does take a lot of time. But anything else on your plate in terms of sport, Kaffee Kraft or Kiez Kaffee Kraft or Marco Prüfer?
Well, my son starts school this summer, so I'm excited for that. I'm We are excited for that.
Is he excited?
He's excited too. Yeah. He's very excited. Let's see. Yeah, my son. I love him, but he's special.
Yeah.
But all kids are special,
They're all
right?
special.
No, I think this year I call, as you said, for this season of your podcast, you want to do reconnect, and this season this year I want to reconnect with my body and just and run. So because I'm hustling for the last 11 years.
Yeah.
So I was so tired. Always, sometimes I think I just come home to sleep. It changed with family a lot.
Yeah.
So before kids, I was only home to sleep and eat. And I woke up and left the apartment to either go to the cafes, the office, somewhere. And I try to break that routine a little bit. Have private space, private time, read more again. I love reading.
Yeah.
I used to read tons. Now it got very little. Now I'm trying to pick it up again. I love.
Don't be too hard on yourself. You had.
I'm super hard on myself.
Yeah.
I'm super hard on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is my challenge, to also stay healthy and happy, because I can get into this very competitive space where you look at other people who are super successful.
And with social media nowadays, it's so easy.
That's why I'm really not looking much at social media. Let's say Instagram or TikTok, because of course I'm getting jealous. I'm like, why am I not there? Yeah. I don't know. I try my best. I'm hustling, so I try to really be not around. And I didn't post on Instagram for like a year, like after the marathon. Now it was half marathon. I got some nice pictures again from me running, so I posted it in the story. And I'm like, oh shit, do I need to post now all the time again? Is it good? Is it bad? Should I do it for my business? Do I want to? Does it make me happy? But then I opened the app to maybe post something in the story, because I did a 22K run pretty fast to show off or whatever, or to get brand deals. I don't know. But then I'm stuck in the
doom scrolling.
I'm like, damn, that's why I don't like to do that. And then I see super successful, I don't know what.
Yeah.
So I try to reduce that as much as possible.
And you can do that?
Yeah.
Well, I think because that happens to me too. I open it up to post something, and then 5 minutes later I haven't posted.
Yeah, but for you, I don't know.
I have to be.
My business is kind of on autopilot, for example. But your business is you are the business. So that could also be a tip. Try to take you out of the equation of the business, right? Yeah. So hire someone. Yeah. I don't know if you want to grow it, because the German saying, there's selbstständig und Unternehmer. Yeah. So selbst and ständig, this is maybe the personal trainer with his own gym.
Selbst und ständig translates to by yourself always.
Yeah. So that would be you with your own gym. Yeah. But if you open up a gym and then, for example, get other personal trainers in to rent your space, that is business. Yeah. So,
and I think that's where, not only in the growth of WeMoa or whatever I'm doing right now, my personal training business, I think that is the case. Like, I'm scared to do it, but I don't have to do it by myself. Once I have a space, like, the idea was actually to have people come in here and use it, personal trainers. Who wants to go into someone else's apartment and then and then also bring someone they don't know? Yeah, it's not working. So. Yeah, thank you for the tips, Marco. Is there anything else we didn't talk about that you might want to throw out there?
I don't want to throw out anything.
No. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man, for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and having reconnecting, not only with yourself but with me. If you ever have any questions or things about reconnecting with yourself, that's part of what I do with movement and breath work and cold. You know that, and you don't ever hesitate to reach out.
I was always, I don't know if I told you, I was very impressed when you moved not careers but focus to breath work, Wim Hof, and time tells, right? You were just perfect timing, man.
Yeah,
good for you.
It went really well, and I went down that road for a while, and I love it, but my foundation is fitness and health and movement, And
you connected.
My idea is to connect it all.
Yeah.
And not just be that one specific breathwork ice bath guy, but
from a customer's perspective, I loved the breathwork.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing, and also the ice baths, of
Yeah.
course. I thought I'm never going to do ice baths, and now I had an ice bath thing on my balcony.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But to do breathwork by yourself, I don't know. It's like meditation. I know it's super good, but to do it in my daily routine, I don't know if you hack that for us.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, hack that.
Marco, thank you again.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to reach out, best is to just go to the cafe, enjoy a coffee.
Follow us on Kiez Kaffee Kraft Instagram, and just visit Pankow, Moabit, or Prenzlauer Berg. Get to know our amazing team. Shout out to our amazing team. Every single one of you is amazing. We love you, and we love what we do every day.
And we ended on that. Thank you, Marco.
Ciao. Nice. Thank you,
everybody.
man. That was fun.
Yes.
You're a good host, Noah.
Oh, man. Thank you. Doing my darndest.